All right, here we are with the Sunline recap from the Sabine River. Just got done yesterday and my boat's still kind of a wreck. I'm gonna pack everything up and head home tomorrow, but gotta give you the tools. Gotta give you the tools that I used here at the Sabine. I finished 28th. I caught a limit all 3 days. I had 9.2 the first day, 8 pounds the second day, and then 6.14 on the last day, and ended up in 28th place. Not a bad finish, but out of the 4 times we've been to the Sabine, that's my worst finish. I finished 26th the first time we came here, so 28th, my worst. Not too bad still. Definitely proud of the fact of my record on the Sabine River, but I need to give you the tools. This year was a little bit different. I mean, I mixed up all kind of different baits, tried a bunch of different stuff. Yeah, I wish I'd even tried more baits, but I had a handful of baits that were key for me, that caught the majority of the keepers. If you watch the vlog video, you can see all of the action and exactly how that all went down. But I'm going to give you the tools of the trade and kind of give you the 1, 2, 3. Basically, I caught most of my fish on 3 different baits. I'm going to tell you about the first one. Was a swim jig, and it's not here because I broke it off on the last cast. It was a 1/4 ounce Bavarni swim jig. That's what I was throwing most of the time. It was just like this. It was not this particular one. This has got a Strike King Rage, baby Rage craw on there. It works pretty good. I kind of like that. It's got some good kick to it. The twin turbo is a little more subtle. I didn't go with that, but I didn't catch any fish on this trailer. I caught fish on something new that we have coming. That's just a little sneak peek. It was one that was broke off. It's the only one I have to even show you in my possession, because the other one is hooked on a rope, like way on the back side of this dock that I could not even get to. But that's something new coming from Missile Baits. I mean, if you watch the Elite Tools, you know, I may have just given you a little nugget of what's coming maybe later this summer. So just a little what's up there. But it was a 1/4 ounce Bavarni swim jig with that Missile blank. That's not the name of it, but the Missile thing on the back of it, causing the kicking action. And that was probably my number 1 bait. Had 16-pound Sunline shooter on there. That was my line. High-speed reel. We're right near an airport. Sorry about that. We just got buzzed by a Cessna. But Daiwa Tatula reel, 7-to-1. I like a higher speed when I'm swimming a jig. And then I was on this deal, whenever I'm using fluorocarbon, I like a little softer rod. This is the rattle trap rod, the Cashin 7-foot 5-inch. It's their rattle trap rod. That's what they have. 7'5". You can wing it way out there. You can work it, and when they get it, it loads up just right. Really like that rod with that swim jig on fluorocarbon. My number 2 bait was probably a combination. I was alternating between these 2 crankbaits. This is like a little, it's almost like a -1 really. I probably could have used that, but it's a little old Bass Pro, and then also the Spro Baby Fat John. That runs a little bit deeper. This runs in the 2-foot range. This runs in the 1-foot range. So I had these 2 on the exact same setup. I was using both of these on Sunline Crank FC 12-pound test, using a little bit lighter, trying to get a little more action out of the baits. Throwing both of them on a Daiwa Tatula 6-3-to-1 gear ratio reel and a 7-foot Cashin. I was going lighter rods because we're talking smaller bass. I'm catching a lot of 13, 14-inch bass, 12-inch bass. You have to use a really soft rod with small fish, or they're gonna come off. So that I went down to the 7-foot cranking Cashin, 7-foot cranking, medium heavy. The Cashin crankbait rods are really nice and soft. So that's what I went with, that medium heavy 7-footer, laying it around all kind of wood laydowns, the edge of grass, the little creek mouths, all that kind of stuff. Was alternating between those two baits. And number 3 was a Zoom trick worm. It was flesh colored. I wanted something a little bit brighter. Had that on Sunline, 18-pound. I wanted a little beefier braid around some of this cover. because I never knew when I was going to hook into one of those bigger ones. But I had that on that 18-pound Sunline X Plasma braid. It had the green, the dark green, Daiwa Tatula LT spinning reel 3000, and I had that on a 7-foot 3-inch Cashin Elite Series spinning rod. That's a medium action. I could really wing that thing around. One bass in particular on the last day that called up probably 3 or 4 ounces for me. I came up to a boat dock in the back of a little canal, and I took the trick worm and I slung it way up under there. I mean, it went way out of sight. Even my marshal yesterday said, "Man, I don't think that thing's even gonna come back." And sure enough, I twitched it one time, and then I started reeling up, and there was no bait. That fish was coming out to me, so I reeled up quickly and set the hook. I figured out there was a fish on there, and then the hook itself is a Gamakatsu. Now this is a different hook. This is an octopus with a straight eye. That's a 1/0. That thing just absolutely gaffs them. It really gets them. I love that hook for any kind of wacky worm action. And unless I need some cover, and then I'll get that G-Finesse Stinger hook. But that was my setup. That was my elite tools of the trade for the Sabine River. And as you can see right back here in this contraption, I'm going to be stuffing a whole lot of stuff. A lot of my gear is going right into the truck there. We're going to go home for a week, come back for Lake Fork, so be sure to tune in for that. But again, 28th finish right here at the Sabine River, and those are my elite tools. If you have any comments on anything else, drop it down there. I may have caught a fish or two on something else, but those are my big 3 right there. Any more comments, or if I missed anything, or I should have thrown something different, just let me know. And don't forget, April, Autism Awareness Month, so we're going to talk more about that later. Thanks for watching.